45% of people set a goal to lose weight or get in shape every year, but only 8% actually achieve it. In this video, I'm going to discuss 5.5 must-do rules to drop body fat. Make sure to stick around to the end to find out why I say it's 5.5 and not just 5. I'm Lewis. I've been a personal trainer for nearly 10 years, working with over 1,000 plus clients. My online coaching, I ensure CEOs, entrepreneurs grow their business by optimizing health and performance without the time sacrifices, restrictive diets, or missing out on precious family time. On YouTube, I help you understand the key fundamentals to do it all by yourself. In a world where nearly half of people aim to lose weight or get in shape each year, only a mere 8% succeed. Quest for fat loss can seem pretty daunting. However, I want to present to you the 5 golden rules, in my opinion, that can significantly increase your chances of achieving your fat loss goals and sustaining it for the long term, which ultimately what it's all about. I've been training since 2012. In my journey to shed the excess fat and see my abs, I've encountered significant roadblocks that have hindered my progress over the years. Despite my initial enthusiasm, I struggled with consistency in regards to going into a cutting phase at the right time, failed to track my progress, and fell victim to a couple of quick fixes, leading to a little bit of frustration and some plateaus, which I know for a fact you've probably encountered too. Recognizing the need for a change, I took a step back and critically assessed my approach. It was clear I needed a strategic and sustainable plan to navigate the fat loss phase that would suit my lifestyle, and again, something which was sustainable. Consistency became a little bit of my Achilles heel. I would start strong, but as life got busier or motivation waned a little bit, my commitment would drop a little, which is very common, and you've probably encountered as well. I would always make it to the gym and train 4 times per week, but the intensity would drop as well as the nutritional side of things. And I didn't track my progress, making it difficult to identify what was working and what needed adjustment. Lastly, the temptation to drop weight rapidly led me down a path of low energy and fatigue. The attraction of rapid fat loss was fueled by the want for quick results. I wanted to be able to see my abs straight away. We all want to start a cutting phase and have shredded abs in 2 weeks, don't we? I fell into the trap of believing that a quicker fat loss phase wasn't better, neglecting the importance of sustainable habits over time. Consequences were pretty obvious: inconsistent results, frustration, and a body that struggled to adapt to the constant fluctuations in my approach. The initial excitement of shedding pounds quickly gave way to a little bit of disappointment as the pounds returned just as fast as when I stopped. To break free from the cycle, I established 5 golden rules that became the foundation of my personal fat loss journey and has helped with a lot of my clients as well. I prioritize consistency by setting realistic goals and building sustainable habits. Tracking progress became a non-negotiable, allowing me to make informed adjustments to my plan when needs be. Instead of chasing rapid fat loss, I focused on a gradual, steady approach that prioritized long-term success over quick fixes. So that all being said, let's delve into my 5 golden rules, which I know for a fact will help you. So number 1 is to control your satiety. The main problem is that overeating can lead to consuming more calories than needed, hindering fat loss because you're going to be in a calorie surplus. The consequence of this is pretty obvious. It can result in weight gain and frustration, making it harder to achieve your fat loss goals. So the solution is to focus on high volume, low calorie foods when in a fat loss phase, and prioritize protein and fiber to increase satiety and reduce overall calorie intake, as I previously mentioned. So for example, instead of a small serving of high calorie, low satiety foods such as chips or sugary snacks throughout the day, opt for a larger portion of sliced veg with hummus, for example. This can help you feel full while consuming fewer calories. Because when in a fat loss phase, ultimately, what we're trying to do is to help you feel fuller for longer. If you're feeling fuller for longer, you're less likely to go down into the fridge or the cupboard and snack on foods which causes added calories to the day, which will in turn lead to a higher calorie consumption, leading to no weight loss. I once had a client who struggled with controlling her own satiety while working long shifts. The problem was that her work was actually near a pizza takeaway. The smell of that freshly baked pizza often tempted her to indulge in the high-calorie slices, leading to overeating. As a consequence, she found herself consuming more calories than needed which hindered the efforts to maintain a healthy weight. We looked at her weekly routine of satiety levels by making a simple yet effective change. All we needed to do was make sure that she was bringing in a nutritious high-volume lunch into work. That way, she wasn't tempted to do it. Or should I say, she was tempted, but she was less likely to do it. We made sure it was packed with lean veg and fibre-rich ingredients. This helped her, as I said before, feel full for longer and satisfied throughout her shift without the need for excessive pizza consumption. As a result, she managed to reduce her overall calorie intake and better manage her weight, all while still enjoying the occasional slice of pizza in moderation. Number 2 is to pace yourself. Rapid weight loss can lead to muscle loss and a decrease in overall metabolic rate. Consequence of this is that it can make it harder to sustain fat loss, easier to regain the weight. The solution is to aim for a moderate and sustainable rate of weight loss, typically 0.5 to 1 kg, 1 to 2 pounds per week, to preserve muscle and metabolic health. An example of this is, instead of crash dieting, focus on creating a moderate calorie deficit through a combination of diet and exercise. This approach can lead to more sustainable and long-term fat loss. I personally have definitely encountered this. Back in 2015, I was determined to drop fat, again, see my abs and get lean, and get in the best shape that I'd been in. I was eager to see rapid results and decided to up my training frequency while drastically cutting calorie intake. However, this approach soon led to negative consequences. I did experience rapid weight loss, but also notice a significant decrease in muscle mass and energy levels. I then realised that I needed to pace myself, as I felt weak in the gym and t-shirts started to feel pretty loose on the old arms, and I adjusted the approach. And once I noticed this, I definitely adjusted the approach. Focused on creating a moderate calorie deficit, incorporated a balance with a mix of strength training and cardio exercise into the routine by taking a more gradual and sustainable approach in regards to the calories I was consuming. I was able to preserve my muscle mass, steadily lose weight without feeling deprived or exhausted. This makes such a difference to your overall daily motivation as well, and you don't feel just knackered all the time because you're in such a deficit of calories. The next one is to track your progress. Without tracking, it's difficult to know if you're actually making progress or if adjustments are even needed. A lack of progress tracking can lead to frustration and a lack of direction in your fat loss journey as well. So the solution is pretty simple. Keep track of your food intake, body measurements, and performance in the gym to make informed decisions and stay motivated. An example of this is use a food diary or a mobile app to track your food, such as MyFitnessPal, and monitor your overall progress. This can help you identify patterns and make necessary adjustments to your diet. Last year, I took on a client who came to me determined to improve his health and fitness and obviously drop a little bit of fat. He started a new exercise program before coming to me, that is, and made changes to his diet, but soon found himself feeling a little bit frustrated and directionless. He wasn't sure if he was making progress, and this lack of clarity was affecting his motivation and confidence. But he was determined to turn things around. One of the first things we implemented was to start tracking his progress. He began keeping a detailed food diary to monitor calorie intake and nutritional choices. We also took regular measurements of his body, tracked performance in the gym. This simple yet powerful change allowed him to gain valuable insight and myself into his habit and progress. He was able to identify patterns, then we could make informed adjustments to his plan and stay motivated by celebrating his achievements along the way. The next one is the good old-fashioned consistency. Inconsistent adherence to a fat loss plan can lead to suboptimal results. A lack of consistency, as we all know, can hinder progress and make it harder to achieve fat loss goals, especially for the long term. We want to establish sustainable habits and stick to them consistently, even when progress seems slow. So instead of following an overly restrictive diet like I did for a short period of time, focus on making small, sustainable changes to your eating habits you can maintain in the long run. If you have a personal goal to improve your health and lose weight, you've probably followed a strict diet for a few days only to give in to the temptation and overindulge. This cycle of restriction and overeating can leave you feeling a little bit frustrated and defeated. Ideally, you want to focus on consistency rather than perfection. You make small, sustainable changes to your diet, such as reducing portion sizes and incorporating more veg into your meals to stay fuller for longer. Most of us, let's be honest, know these general rules, but people don't follow through with it for long enough to actually see good results. Next one is don't get bored. Monotonous diet and exercise routine can lead to boredom and decreased adherence. Boredom can lead to a lack of motivation and increased likelihood of falling off the fat loss plan. We want to keep your diet and exercise routine varied, but not too variable as I mentioned in another video. We want to make sure that it's enjoyable to stay engaged and motivated throughout your fat loss journey. But again, this doesn't mean you should change your training plan every week, because we need to track your progress on your lifts. Although that being said, test out different workout splits such as push-pull legs, upper lower, full body, hybrid training, incorporating a little bit of cardio as well, and see which one you prefer the most. My bonus tip is to ask yourself why. If you're already pretty lean, is it actually worth dropping any body fat to get that little bit more shredded? When I was training for my Edinburgh Marathon back in 2022, I knew I would perform better being at a lighter weight. But it's not until now, when I look back 1.5 years later, to realise how lean I actually was. It was by far the leanest I've ever been. But again, looking back, I was constantly hungry, honestly believed that I wasn't that lean. The mind definitely starts playing tricks on you once you get to a certain point and after a certain amount of time in a deficit. On the other hand, for most people, dropping weight and body fat is definitely worth doing, although it pays to have a specific reason why first. This will help with your overall end goal and overall motivation. With all of my CEO and entrepreneurial clients, I follow my CEO Health and Performance Blueprint 5-step system, which combines all 5 key areas. Head to the link in the description to watch the short video of exactly how I use this with my clients to get amazing results. Or alternatively, you can take the CEO Health and Performance Assessment Scorecard to assess your current performance and health and areas which you can improve.